Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another meal prep video. So in this meal prep video, we have 3 brand new recipes we are going to be trying. The first is an Instant Pot cheesy garlic spaghetti squash recipe, as well as a hamburger sausage broccoli alfredo recipe. And then we are doing a dessert this week, and I am going to be trying some keto ginger snap cookies. Yes, please. I will be sure to leave the link to all 3 of these recipes in the description box below, so that way you can get the entire recipe with all of the ingredients as well as all the measurements, baking times, and cooking times, and all that good stuff down in the description box below. But let's get started. I'm going to start off with some keto egg bites, and these egg bites are just going to have sausage in there. I typically like to make it with chorizo, but this time I decided to make it with sausage. And I am just cutting up some sausage rounds that I already had cooked up. I prepared them one morning before I went to work because we made keto kind of like McGriddle egg sandwiches during the week. But then you also saw me throw in about 8 eggs in that bowl, and now I'm just throwing in about a fourth. You can use up to about a third a cup of heavy whipping cream, and then I am going to add some seasonings in there. So I'm just going to add some pepper. Then I'm also going to add some salt. And these egg bites are perfect for mornings where you're in a rush, you just want to grab something and then head out to work. And then you can't have egg bites without cheese, y'all. I think I've told you guys before, I've actually tried to give up cheese before. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Cheese makes me super happy. But just give this a good whisk and make sure all the ingredients are incorporated, make sure all the egg yolks are broken. Then after that is mixed well, I just put all of the sausage at the bottom of a cupcake pan. Make sure you spray the living heck out of that cupcake pan because these will stick so easily. So I kind of overdo it with the spray, but if I don't, trust me, I've learned my lesson. They will stick, and they will stick bad, and you'll just have a mess of what you want to call egg bites. Then just pour your egg mixture that we mixed up in there. Then I just bake mine at 350 degrees, and I usually bake them for it usually takes them around 15 to 20 minutes. Just keep an eye on them, and once you see them not even like completely browned, but maybe just slightly, then that means they're done. But these are absolutely delicious, and like I said, they reheat pretty well, and they're perfect for working parents or kids on the go to go to school, or pretty much anything on the go. Then, like every single week, I am going to prepare some boiled eggs. I just threw 1 cup of water into my Instant Pot, and this week I'm only going to boil 10 eggs. And like I say every week, if you're not boiling your eggs in your Instant Pot, then you really need to start, because this makes my life so much easier. It seriously just saves time in just the peeling process. These things peel like a dream. But I'm just going to throw the lid on there. Make sure that your Instant Pot is on sealing. Press the egg button. I cook them for about 3 minutes, and then I throw them in an ice bath for 5 minutes. Then I like to peel mine just for the ease and convenience for my family. Sometimes, not even gonna lie, I'm lazy and it doesn't happen, and I just throw them in the fridge with the shell on there. Next up is chicken avocado salad. This week I decided not to do tuna, and I decided to make chicken, but I kind of made too much. Oscar wasn't able to eat all this before the avocados went brown. So just to give you guys a heads up, the avocados in this kind of salad usually last about 2 days before they go brown. So kind of a heads up there. But I did use 1 large can, like a Costco can of chicken, as well as 1 small can of chicken that I actually just found in my cupboard, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make them both. I didn't realize I was actually making like that much, but that is okay. Lesson learned. Now I'm just throwing in eggs. You could throw in 3, 4 eggs, however many eggs you want to throw in. I think I threw in 3 this time. But I always use my egg slicer for this because that stinking thing is so convenient. Like I say every meal prep, if you don't have an egg slicer, you really need to go out like right now and go grab one. Also, I'm gonna add avocado. Oscar absolutely loves avocados, so this is his favorite lunch. I could make this or tuna salad or something like that every single week, and he would never complain. He absolutely loves this, but again, he is a huge avocado lover. But I'm also throwing in an entire avocado in here, and it's so nice because it gives you those health benefits. It has the healthy fats that you're looking for. So it is amazing to add avocado to your diet. So you can't have a chicken salad without some seasonings. So I added some pepper, and I also added some body of seasoning this time. I actually found that at the Dollar Tree, which is a huge, amazing find because that stuff is pricey at regular stores. As well as I am adding some mayonnaise, as well as some mustard. And I don't put a ton of mustard, I just put enough for flavoring. And then I also like to add sour cream. I did not add sour cream to the tuna last week because I ran out of sour cream. But the sour cream and between the sour cream, the mayonnaise, and the mustard, it really gives it a really nice flavor. And as you can see, that made a ton of chicken salad. So yes, I kind of went overboard and I learned my lesson because unfortunately, some of that did get wasted. And I am not the type of person that likes to waste food. I think that is absolutely awful. So I was very sad about that. And again, lesson learned. I'm also going to prepare 3 pounds of ground beef. 2 pounds of it is going to be for taco meat, kind of whatever everybody wants to use it for. And then 1 pound is going to be for another recipe. So I just basically cooked it all up in that pan, threw in some salt and pepper. I just kind of kept the seasoning simple on that one. And now we are moving on to one of the brand new recipes. So in my Instant Pot, I am preparing a spaghetti squash, and I threw in about 1 cup of water at the bottom of that. And I just cooked that for around 16 minutes. And then when that was done, I rinsed out my Instant Pot and I put my Instant Pot on saute mode. And I just took some butter and I let the butter melt at the bottom of the Instant Pot. And I sauteed the butter and some garlic together. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that we did pierce the spaghetti squash before I put it in the Instant Pot. And then I just threw in 2 tablespoons of chicken broth. And I just sauteed all of that together and just let all those flavors just merge together. Then we're going to take around 1 cup of broccoli florets, just cut into bite-sized pieces. I just used the Costco ones and I microwaved it in the microwave because that's a steamable bag for around 5 minutes. And then I just let all that saute together as well. Again, getting all those flavors just mixed in together super well. And then I took my spaghetti squash, I cut it in half, and then I just basically yanked all the seeds and all the stuff that you don't want in there out of there. Then I just started shredding the spaghetti squash right there, right into the Instant Pot. Then I just gave all that a quick stir and made sure it was all mixed well before we add the other ingredients. Because we are going to be adding around 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, as well as around 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese. Because this is called cheesy spaghetti squash. Then I'm just going in with some ground black pepper. Then just stir it up and look at that side. That'll be in my How Did It Taste video. Next up is the hamburger sausage broccoli Alfredo casserole. So I am just cooking up 1 pound of sausage. It doesn't matter what kind of sausage you want to use. As well as I am throwing around 1 pound of that ground beef that I cooked prior. And I'm just going to mix those two together. Then we are going to go in with some cream cheese. We are going to use an entire package of cream cheese. I'm just measuring mine out on my scale because I buy mine at Costco in that huge block. And the cream cheese you are going to want to melt just a little bit. Then again, I'm going to go in with my seasonings. I did add some oregano to that, as well as some ground black pepper and some sea salt. Then previously I did chop up some onions and prepared some of those. That it says to use 1 small onion. I only used around a half of an onion because I feel like onions are a little bit carbier. And my family's not a huge onion fan, to be honest with you. I personally love onions, but not everybody is. So I did give that a quick stir, as well as I put in a half a cup of heavy whipping cream. And again, just stirred that up really well again. Now I'm gonna go in with the broccoli. I just used the rest of the broccoli that was left over from the spaghetti squash recipe, as well as some garlic. I threw in there a good heaping tablespoon of garlic. My family is garlic lovers for sure. Now I'm just gonna go in with the Parmesan cheese. So it calls for a half of a cup of Parmesan cheese. And it does call for mozzarella cheese as well. It actually calls for 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. I didn't measure it out. I just threw in there some mozzarella cheese, what I thought looked appropriate. Again, all the exact recipes will be in the description box below because I don't always follow recipes to the T. I just kind of make them my own and do my own thing. But I was giving this a good stir. The bowl that I used obviously was too little, so I said forget it. And I threw it in the pan with the sausage and hamburger and stirred it up in there. It worked out better. And as you saw, I did add a little bit more seasoning. I am a seasoning girl, so I added some of that Badia seasoning. And that Badia seasoning can literally spice up any meal. It's so good. I can't talk highly enough about that seasoning. But I just threw this in one of my larger casserole dishes, and the original recipe said to put all the cheeses on the top. I personally like to incorporate my cheeses throughout the entire casserole. That's why I just mix my cheeses in, if you're wondering. And I baked this at 350 degrees, and I just baked it long enough. I just kept watching it until it was hot throughout and it was bubbly. This is another recipe that will be in my How Did It Taste video, but it looks and smells delicious. And the onions you can saute with the meat, but I wasn't going to add onions, and then last minute I decided to add them in. Next up, I am going to be making some Mexican rice, quote unquote. So obviously it's cauliflower rice, and I just threw in there one of those steamable cauliflower rice bags from Costco. I did throw in there a little bit of tomato sauce as well as some chicken broth. I do add my seasonings like always, so I added a little bit of pepper, some salt. I did end up adding some cumin to that as well, and then I just stirred it up, and this is absolutely delicious. Next, I had these chicken legs in my freezer, so I wanted to use them up, and I just basically cooked these in my electric skillet. I love the way my electric skillet cooks things. I just threw some garlic salt on there, just keeping it simple, y'all. And I just let these cook on both sides, and that is something delicious. This is the perfect protein to even pair up with that spaghetti squash side that we prepared. Then next up, last but definitely not least, we are going to be making cookies. So in that bowl, I just melted 1/4 cup of butter. It says unsalted butter. I don't have unsalted butter, so I'm just not going to add salt to this recipe. As well as 1 cup of erythritol. I just used monk fruit erythritol. I'm really enjoying cooking with monk fruit. I think that is my favorite keto-friendly sweetener. Then this recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And it does call for 1 large egg. Then I'm just going to stir this part together. Now we're just going to go in with 2 cups of almond flour. So this calls for 2 teaspoons of ginger, as well as 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, as well as 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and I'm not for sure what happened, but it didn't show me putting it in there. And we are also going to go in with 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So I just mixed that super well because you want all those seasonings mixed really well. You could actually probably do the dry ingredients in a separate bowl and whisk all the dry ingredients together. I just made sure I mixed it rather well together. Then I just took my cookie scooper, scooped it all out on my pan. I did use parchment paper, preheated my oven to 350 degrees. It says to cook these for around 10 to 12 minutes. Mine took like 15 minutes. I think it may be because I made them a little bit too thick. If we enjoy these and I decide to make them again, I'll make them a little bit thinner. All right, so that concludes today's meal prep. I hope you guys found some inspiration and motivation to meal prep for yourself and your family. Again, make sure to watch out for that how did it taste video. And if you guys decide to make any of these recipes, I will leave my Instagram link in the description box below. Tag me, let me know what you thought. But for now, that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. And don't forget to go out there and make today even better than yesterday. And I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.
On my own, but I don't know why you hit the road, but you don't realize I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when